They have nothing. Everybody hates Trump so much, but I don't see anything they want to do to make the country better themselves. I
Okay.
mean, you had Biden in there. I was rooting for Biden. I was hoping he would do something, but he looked like he was asleep all the time. So I thought he was embarrassing. People say Trump's embarrassing with a lot of the shit he says, but at least I see him working his ass off, and I think some of his policies are good. I like
Sure.
I like fighting crime. I mean, I think crime is one of the biggest things that I can't stand it. I'm a business owner. I don't like when I see a lot of things that go on throughout the country in certain states about how they let a lot of these criminals get away with things. They let them get out early. A lot of shit like that. That's my number one thing is I'm against crime.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was my main reason why I voted for him. I
Sure.
support the men in blue. Listen, I know the men in blue sometimes, even with ICE. Not all of them are good. Not all of them are good, but we need them. Bottom
Mm-hmm.
line, we do need them.
Sure, sure, sure.
And so I support that.
Anything else?
As far as a lot of things going on right now, yeah, gas prices not good. As far as grocery stores, I go in the grocery store. It was freaking ridiculous. A lot of shit I don't see doing well. But let's hope if this whole thing with Iran ends soon, we'll see those gas prices drop. Maybe we'll see things good with the economy. But you know what? I don't. I just think with no matter what president we've had, I don't seem to ever see prices go down. They always just keep going up. Electric, gas, no matter what you look at, it just seems
Sure,
like none of them seem to bring it down that
sure,
much.
sure, sure, sure.
So,
I'd like to
eh,
address what you said here. So you mentioned a couple of different things. You don't know what the Democratic Party wants to accomplish. Yeah, healthcare for all, abolishing ICE, big money out of politics, i.e., tax corporate PAC money out of politics, and corporation money out of politics. I mean, Hawaii, the governor of Hawaii, um, banned big corporations from putting money in elections. Right, that's a good step. Overturning Citizens United, stopping our support for Israel in terms of monetary support as well as weapons, both for defensive and offensive. That's something that the Democratic Party wants to uphold, ending the gerrymandering across all different states and upholding the Constitution, right? And then you made the claim fighting crime. That is the biggest point I want to focus on. You say you want to fight crime. And I'm going to have to point out the biggest contradiction, and I'm sure you've heard all these talking points. He's a 34 count felon. He's an adjudicated rapist, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But what I want to focus on is the supreme law of the land is going to be the Constitution. You said you support Trump because he's fighting crime. If you support someone who's fighting crime, but the same individual who's quote unquote fighting crime has violated clauses and amendments of the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land, why do you still support Trump?
I mean, I don't know too much about that. Just like with the 34 felonies, I mean, I didn't really see any proof on that. We had the liberal judges in New York, and I think there was some things going on with where else he got. Was it Florida or whatever? They got him for certain crimes and all that, but there wasn't much evidence. I didn't see any evidence,
What if I was able to provide evidence that he
but then
violated
again, but the
the
30
Constitution? Would you still support him?
but the 34 felonies, I mean, wasn't that all pretty much the same felony? I mean, how did it become 34 felonies?
Because the payments split up payments, 34 counts of falsifying business records, predicate with another crime. The jury found there to be three other possible crimes. But I don't want to focus on the 34 felonies because I know that's more mainstream. What if I was able to prove to you that Donald Trump violated clauses and amendments of the Constitution beyond a reasonable doubt? Would you still support him?
Well, I mean, I'd only support him because, once again, I don't like anybody on the liberal side at
Hey,
all.
why don't you like the
I
liberals? What's wrong with us?
Listen, I was a liberal. My parents were liberals. I just don't care for a lot of the stuff that they're for as far as
What don't you
well,
like that we're for?
I didn't like the fact that they with the men playing in women's sports. I was pissed off about that. If that was my daughter that took that volleyball to her face like that, I would have been freaking furious. There was certain things I didn't like. Just like the guy with the girl, the daughter that got killed in trying to think if it was Georgia or whatever. The one liberal judge or whoever he was, letting that guy who had all these criminal records
See, there's a lot of
let.
contradictions here. You're saying you
Well,
don't
no,
like men.
it goes both
You're
ways.
saying you're saying you don't like men in women's spaces. Donald Trump is a man who barges into a women's only space. You're saying you don't like liberal judges letting violent criminals out and free on our to our streets. Guess what? Donald Trump pardoned domestic terrorists, i.e., January Sixers, who spread feces on their wall, threatened to hang Mike Pence, and then tried to unalive police officers on January 6th. He pardoned them, letting them roam free in our country. And guess what? Some of them reoffended, i.e., raped children. And then he also pardoned the ex-president of Honduras, who trafficked the sea drug into our country. Right. So that's hypocritical that you say liberal judges letting
Well,
all these people when Donald Trump let out domestic terrorists and foreign terrorists roam free in our streets, as well
all
as
right.
he is a man who entered a woman's only space. So that's contradictory.
Listen. All right. Okay. I can't disagree with you there, but I'm just saying it's kind of both. It's both ways. It's both
So then you
sides.
wouldn't vote for anyone. Would you, if
Well,
knowing
maybe,
everything you know now, would you
maybe.
vote for Harris or Trump?
Oh, I don't like Harris at all. I just don't like her at all.
So
They
would you
they
vote
got
for
to get
Harris or
the,
knowing everything you
the,
know now? Would you vote for
the,
Harris or Trump or not vote?
uh shit. Would I not vote? Well, we don't have to vote for Trump again, right? So
No, hypothetically, like if the election was held today, and everything you know now, you vote for Harris or Trump or not vote or vote third party?
well, I'm sorry, but I probably would still vote for Trump. I don't know if it maybe would be a good decision, but
It wouldn't
I
be. And I just explained to you how you're saying you don't like the liberals because liberal
no,
judges
no.
let out
Listen,
violent criminals. Donald
I
Trump let out
like.
violent criminals, and then you're saying you don't like Harris. What did Harris do that you don't like? Like, why wouldn't you vote for Harris?
She's just not a smart person to be a president of the
Donald
United
Trump said
States.
coal is clean. Donald Trump said
Well,
windmills cause
Donald Trump's a
cancer
bit,
and
yeah, but
windmills cause wells never seen before. Donald Trump asked if we should inject ourselves with bleach to fight COVID-19. Donald Trump thinks that Diet Coke can kill cancer
listen,
because it can kill grass. That was
listen.
2 weeks ago.
I know he says stupid shit. We know that, but the
Name one
bottom
thing
line is
Harris has said that's stupid.
he's still a better business person than
He has six
Kamala.
failed bankruptcy. He has six
Yeah,
bankruptcies.
but it's not how
And
you.
the
It's
reason
not
why
when
he's
it's not when you
successful,
it's
the reason
not
why
when
he's
you fail.
successful, the
Listen,
reason
it's
why
not
he's
when you
successful
fail.
is
It's how
because he
you
just
bounce.
slaps his name on everything, i.e. the airport. He
Listen,
just slaps his name on everything, and then those
li-
businesses failed. But name
listen.
one
We
thing. You
all
said you said
fail.
Harris wasn't smart. Name one not smart thing that Harris said. Name one.
I just listen. I just watch her. I watch her on TV. I see her with her laughs. I just don't.
Her
She's
laughs are
not
worse
my.
than a
She's
rapist.
just not the right person.
Okay,
What's that?
her laughs are
No,
worse than a
I just
rapist.
don't. I don't like her. I mean,
Okay,
there's
why?
something
Why don't you
about her.
like
I don't
her?
like her because she's not president quality, man. I mean, come on.
She
Now,
was
Trump.
she served in
Listen,
all three branches of the government. She is definitely the most qualified person. Absolutely, she is very professional. Absolutely, she's able to work diplomatically. Absolutely, she worked alongside Biden to pass some of the most monumental legislation in American history.
I could not see Kamala going up with the president of China or. But listen, I mean, if I had to vote for a liberal, I would vote John Fetterman. Okay, I like
John
him.
Fetterman, bro.
Yes, I would.
John Fetterman, bro. He's a
I
Republican.
would.
Bro, he's a rhino, bro. He's the most Republican person ever. I'd argue he's even more the Republican than some Republicans. I'd argue Thomas Massey is more liberal than Fetterman. And Thomas Massey's a Republican and Fetterman's a Democrat. Bro,
Yeah, but
John
Fetterman's got
Fetterman.
common.
Fetterman is
He's
a
got
rhino. Fetterman
he
is the
has common
worst Democrat
sense.
to ever exist.
Oh well, then you could say that about some Republicans or liberals, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
But
yes, some Republicans and liberals are rhino, but you support John
all right, so
Fetterman because he was a
what
Republican. That's why. I
what
think
do
you're
you
in a
think?
cult. You choose party over country.
What do you think about Marco Rubio?
Marco Rubio, I don't like him. He's part of the Trump
You don't like
administration.
what Republican do you like?
Thomas Massey.
Wait, Thomas Massey.
The reason why I like Thomas Massey is because he helped release the Epstein files by co-sponsoring the Epstein Files Transparency Act with Ro Khanna, and he also wants to end all illegal wars. So that's why I like Thomas Massey.
Right.
Which liberal do you like besides John Fetterman?
Besides Fetterman, what liberal do I like? Oh man, I really, I really can't think of another one. If you got Newsom in there, boy, you're in.
James Tallarico, do you like him?
Who?
James Tallarico running for Senate of Texas. He's Christian. He wants to end all illegal wars. Keep big money out of politics.
Yeah, I would love to see the war end. All these wars end.
Yeah,
Listen, that's what.
I think you like James Florico, but listen, man, listen. I don't understand why you would vote for Trump just because Harris had a weird laugh.
No,
I
no,
think
it's
you
not.
choose.
No,
I
no,
think you're
I'm not.
party
It's
over
not
country.
just.
I have a question.
It's
I have a
not
question.
just for a
I
laugh.
have a
It's
question.
not just for a laugh.
If Donald
Just
Trump raped a child, would you vote for him?
if he raped a child,
Hmm.
no, then I would not vote for him.
Okay. What is the difference between him raping a child versus him raping a woman? If he raped a child, you would not vote for him, but when he rapes a woman, you would vote for him.
No, I don't believe that he did that.
It was a civil
Okay,
court found him to be responsible.
I don't know about that. I mean,
I
I
can
didn't
show
see
you.
no, I didn't see no evidence on that. You
Oh
know.
yeah, I mean I can tell you the evidence. Not only just witness testimony, but therapy notes as well that corroborated
Well,
this.
listen,
Not only that, the
li-
Hollywood Access tape where he says he grabs women by the pussy without asking. Not only that, you also have
I
the
saw
DNA,
that. I
the
saw
DNA.
that. But how about Bill Clinton taking
Yeah, what
advantage of
about Bill
Monica?
Clinton? Yeah, he should be put
How
in
about
prison.
with Monica Lewinsky?
Sure, yeah, that was
How
sexual
about Biden? How
exploitation.
about Biden grabbing, touching young girls' hair and shit? The
Yeah,
way he
Biden
did.
touching his granddaughter's hair. That's not weird.
Oh well, I
What?
mean,
And
that wasn't his granddaughter.
I would want Biden touching his granddaughter's hair,
No, he was
just to
sniffing other.
determine. Yeah,
He was.
I would want Biden to determine whether or not
Come
his
on,
daughter's hair smells
come
good
on,
or bad,
come on. He
just to
was
be prepared
sniffing.
than Donald Trump raping. You're comparing touching hair, by the way, to raping a woman. That's what you're
He didn't
comparing.
rape a woman, so I don't want to hear
He
that.
did. I just proved to you
No.
that a civil court determined that E. Jean Carroll was raped by
If he
Donald
really
Trump.
raped a woman, he wouldn't be president. I'll tell you right now.
No, he was
There's
because of
no
statute
way.
of limitations. He was not held accountable.
Oh man, I don't know about that. I mean, I listen. I understand where you're coming from, but that I don't believe it. I
You're just
just don't
denying
believe it.
reality. What evidence in the
Not
case do you
denying
dispute?
reality. I'm denying what I don't know. Okay, I don't
You
know
can't
about
deny
that.
something that no, I can show you the jury verdict form. Do you want to see it?
Well, it could be something that's fake news. Who knows?
You
You
can
know.
see
I
it.
mean,
Eugene
I
Carroll v.
can't.
Trump.
Well, I don't know. Well,
It says right there.
all right. Well,
It says right there.
again, what are
Mr.
you
Trump
telling me?
sexually abused Miss Carroll. It's right there. Yes,
Yeah, but where'd that come from? I mean,
came from the court
is that
documents from
legit?
The New York
Is
court
that
documents.
legit?
Yes. You can search up
Yeah.
Eugene Carroll v. Trump. You can find this in New York court documents. Can we do some W's in the chat for Cali for the dollar and 57 cents saying how have the debates been? They've been pretty decent. I mean, this is our first
Well,
debate.
I'm sure we could dig up a lot of shit on a lot of liberals too. You know,
Yeah,
so
and they
it's
should be put in prison. No one's arguing that they should be roaming
yeah.
free in the street. But
What?
the thing is, let me give you an example while the chat is spamming W Cali. Let me give you an example. Eric Swalwell. I'm sure you know who he is. He was running for
Can't
governor.
stand him.
He was a
Can't
congressman.
stand him.
He was a congressman. Guess what?
What?
The Democrats called for him to drop out of the race and called for him to be expelled out of Congress.
Good.
Okay, the Democrats hold
Should
our
be.
people accountable, but when it comes to people like you and Eric Swalwell wasn't even like convicted. They were just credible allegations. But when it comes to Donald Trump and people like you, he has 26 credible allegations, one court case to prove that he's a sexual abuser, and you put him in the highest position of power, and you try to say but Biden, but Obama, but Bill Clinton, but Eric Swalwell, but any of these people. That's called Bidenism. You're in a court and you don't want to hold your own people accountable. Please
Listen,
hold
but
rapists accountable.
but all politicians, all right. You know,
It's not about any other politician right now besides Trump. Hold Trump accountable. Don't vote him in when he's a rapist.
Listen. If he is, I didn't know that when I voted for him, and I still don't believe that he did anything like that.
Then you're just denying reality.
No, I'm not denying reality.
Hey,
I don't.
do you
I don't
accept?
know the
Do
truth.
you
I'm not going to
accept?
go by what you're telling me. All right?
I showed you the court form. Do you accept that he was held liable of sexual abuse?
Like I said, this is something you're telling me, but I didn't see it from anybody else. And
Can you do you have like a do you want to swipe out of the app? Search up like you can even go to Fox News, far right. Search up Donald Trump liable for sexual abuse. And then you're gonna see Fox News,
First of all,
AP News.
let's put it this way: I don't know the truth about that. And second of all,
we have a court case
what
that
matters
tells us.
what matters is the 80 million people and him doing what's best for this country right now. That's what he's running on.
Bro,
That's what his job is.
I don't think a rapist. I don't think someone who violates someone's bodily autonomy can work in the best of the people. But
Well,
name me one good. Name me one good thing that makes him a good president, even though he raped someone, that makes you overlook that? Name me one good thing that he's done for this country in the last year and a half.
He doesn't put up with bullshit. All right. I like the fact that he's a
Okay, what do you mean? Give
fighter.
me an example.
And listen, you know,
Give
your
me an
liberal
example.
party.
You said he
your
doesn't
liberal
put.
party. Listen, I don't care for your liberal party trying to assassinate him 3 times now.
The Liberal
I
Party
mean,
didn't
that's
try to
cool.
assassinate Butler. Butler was a registered Republican.
Oh,
By the way,
bullshit. That was it. Listen, I'm not going to agree
Butler
with you on
was a
that
registered
one.
Republican.
Not going to
Butler
agree with you on
indeed
that
was a
one.
registered Republican.
Not well, maybe he was registered, but he sure as hell wasn't Republican. I'll tell you that much.
No, he's
Just
registered Republican.
just because he's registered Republican, just like you told me about Fetterman. All right, he's a liberal, okay, but you're saying he's not a liberal. He's a Republican. So
He's a registered Democrat. Yes.
Well, no, yeah, but so there you go.
He's
all
a
right?
rhino.
So the Butler's a rhino too, then, right? The Butler kid. Okay, I mean, it's the same. It's the same.
But this is a
freaking
pivot.
thing.
You made the claim that you can overlook the rape when it comes to Donald Trump because
I'm not saying that. I don't know. Listen, I'm not saying.
So what
that.
has he done that's good for our country?
Listen, you're a liberal. You hate Trump. You obviously hate Trump. So I'm supposed to believe you for all the shit that you're saying about what he did?
You can search up Donald Trump held liable for sexual abuse. Click enter
I don't
on
care,
Google.
man. There's more fucking liberal, freaking fake news bullshit out there.
No, is Fox News liberal?
Fox News didn't put that out there.
Fox News did put that out there.
Oh,
I can show you.
Come on. I mean, listen, it's all fake news.
You want me to show you?
Both sides.
Hold on. If I show you Fox News showing you this, are you going to say that he's a rapist?
Fox News is saying that, huh?
If I showed you this, would you concede?
Well, you probably got some fake news, Fox News shit on there.
Would you concede? Would you concede? Would you concede?
I don't trust.
No, hold on. If I was able to prove, would you concede? Yes or no? I need a yes or no.
Here's the thing.
Oh, no. I need a yes or no. Please. I need a yes or no, please.
I don't listen to liberals. I don't listen to Republicans. I listen and watch what I see.
Okay, this. Look here. What does this say?
New York. Okay, wait a minute. New York jury.
What does this say? This right here. This.
I can't see it.
What does that say?
The Fox News. Okay, breaking news.
Fox News. Okay. New York jury founds Donald Trump sexually abused E. Jean Carroll in civil lawsuit by Fox News. Okay, you can also take a look at all of these. Factually.co. You can take a look at Fox News 21, CNBC.
And you're saying he was proven guilty?
He was found guilty colloquially to be responsible. Yes. He was held liable.
I'm going to tell you something right now.
Look, this is Fox News.
Let me tell you something. If he was found guilty with that, I don't even think Fox would be sticking up for him right now. So I don't believe it.
No,
I just don't.
This is Fox News. I can click on the link. Look, this is not AI. I can click on the link. I didn't make the link. Fox News. I'm clicking on the link. It's the same link. That's Fox News.
I understand that.
Finds Donald Trump sexually abused E. Jean Carroll in civil lawsuit. Why do you still support him, even though the far right is saying that he raped E. Jean Carroll?
Why does everybody on Fox News still support him?
Yeah, because they support a rapist. That's why people like you exist.
They support a rapist. See. Now, see, that's just ignorance for you to say something like that. Those are very. You know what? As far as I'm concerned, they're very intelligent on Fox News. A lot of the people on there, I don't believe they would support a man if he did that.
They reported that he was held liable. They reported that he raped E. Jean Carroll. They reported on this.
The liberal side supports a lot of criminals and a lot of
that's the liberals. We're talking about Trump right now. Please hold Donald Trump accountable. Admit that Fox News released this document. Admit that he was held liable. Admit that he was found responsible of raping E. Jean Carroll. Admit it. If you support Trump, even though he's a rapist, listen. I have so many conversations where people say, "I don't care." I don't care.
There's a lot of nut jobs.
Give me a second.
Are you going to admit there's a lot of nut jobs on the liberal side?
I admit that there's a lot of insane people on the liberal side. Absolutely. But let me just finish here real quick. If you admit that you don't care that Donald Trump's a rapist, yet you still support him, a lot of people think that.
What are you not hearing that's coming out of my mouth? I do not support if he's a rapist. Okay,
then you don't support him.
If I can have let me go. How about I sit down with the man, put the man in front of me, because you know what? There's so much bullshit. I deal with a lot of bullshit that people say things about me.
So when liberals say it, you don't believe it. When Donald Trump,
I got a lot of assholes that say things about me that are not true either.
What if Donald Trump sexually exploited children? What if Donald Trump sexually exploited children and women? Would you support him?
No, I wouldn't. If it's true, I would not support him.
Okay, cool. Of course not. Cool. I'm gonna show you. I will show you unrefutable evidence that he sexually exploited contestants at his Miss Teen USA and Miss USA pageants. Okay.
Well, no, I heard about shit about him going in the locker rooms
So
there,
that's sexual
shit like that.
exploitation.
But
So you no longer support him
I did
anymore,
not
right?
hear him about doing anything bad with those women. He went into the locker
I can
rooms,
I
but
yeah, let's see
I
what
did not.
let's hear. First off, can we determine what's can you agree sexual exploitation is any actual or attempted abuse of position of power, vulnerability, or trust for sexual gratification? Can we agree?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Cool. So sexual exploitation. This guest agreed. Is any actual or attempted abuse of position of vulnerability, power, or trust for sexual gratification. That is exactly what Donald Trump did. You told us if Donald Trump sexually exploited women or children at his Miss Teen USA or Miss USA pageant, you would no longer support him. Let's roll the clip.
I don't see that. It could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later.
The question is, how can it not be construed?
So I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump in my country, we say hello with the vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
so you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show,
Yeah.
and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else, and no men are anywhere, and I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting.
Right,
I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything
doctor.
is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
So before you say anything, you agreed to the definition of sexual exploitation. You're going to be asking, how was that sexual exploitation? Sure. He said that he used his position of power, i.e., being the owner of the pageants, to quote unquote inspect the place. But we know it's not his job because at the end of his statement, he says he gets away with things like that. If it was his job to inspect these places, he wouldn't be getting away with it. A. B. He said that he described a dressing room, saying that these women were naked, had no clothes on, and they were getting dressed and changed. That describes a dressing room. And he said that they were beautiful, i.e., the sexual gratification. So, under the definition that you agreed with, he used his position of power for his own sexual gratification, which means he sexually exploited Miss Teen USA and Miss USA pageant contestants, which means you no longer support him.
What you're saying. Are you a straight man?
Am I straight? Yes, I'm straight.
You're straight. So let me tell you something. If a woman walks by you and she's naked, are you gonna turn your head or are you gonna look at them? Okay.
Why would a woman be
I
naked
think any
around me?
man is gonna look at them.
Why
In
would
his
I be
position,
naked? Why would I
listen,
be no? But the thing is, you're
I didn't say you're
implying.
naked. I said if a woman walks by you
No,
and
I
she's
understand. I understand
naked,
what you're saying,
I
but
think any straight man is gonna stare at them.
these
Okay?
women, no. But first off, the only ways like a woman would be naked in front of me is if it was my partner. B, if I was in a woman's dressing room, but I would
No,
never
no.
be in a woman's dressing room. I'm saying Donald Trump walked into the woman's dressing room saying he was doing an inspection. Right, he used his position of power to say, "I'm gonna inspect the dressing room," but then he says he gets away with that, so we know it's not his job. Okay, there's a difference between someone willingly getting naked in front of you. Teens can't consent, and B, and there's a difference between someone willingly doing it compared to Donald
You,
Trump going
you,
backstage and barging in.
you
There's a
ever watch?
difference.
Do you ever watch sports?
Do I watch sports? Not really.
Yes. Huh?
Not really. No.
All right. Well, in sports, there are women broadcasters, okay? And they will walk into the men's locker rooms, these athletes that are taking showers, totally naked, and they're in there interviewing them. Okay. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, if
You know why?
a
Because
woman,
that's their job.
if a woman
But
broadcaster,
they do it because it's their job.
hold on, if a woman broadcaster is entering a men's locker room while they're naked without their consent, that is sexual exploitation.
No, it's not without their consent.
So the men consented to this.
They're allowed to walk in there and
According to
interview
who are they?
them.
Hold on. We know that men are not allowed to walk into women's space and women are not allowed to walk into men's space because colloquially, there is no consent given. Right? Women's spaces are for women's spaces only. Men's spaces are for men's spaces only. So unless the men gave consent or these women gave consent, which neither of them did in these hypothetical questions, it would be sexual exploitation if they use a position of power, vulnerability, or trust to enter said men or women's only space. So yeah, that would be sexual exploitation. But can you again? You're just talking about what about this? What about that? What about this person? What about that person?
Listen,
Just address what Donald Trump said.
Your hate for Trump
No,
is making
it's not
you
my hate. It's
say a
his
lot
own
of this
words.
shit.
It is his own
Listen,
words.
you
It's his
hate-
own words.
But what I'm saying is that if he was the one that was involved in these Miss pageants and he did something like that, okay, and he's not getting in trouble for it, okay, then any man that has that opportunity to be able to be around beautiful women, okay, and that's they're allowed, is not
He
going to
wasn't
say no
allowed
to
because
that.
it was a
Any
woman's
man's
only
not going to say
space.
no to that.
Are you? Hold on. Are men allowed in a women's only space? Yes or no?
Well, no, but once again, you're
No,
going
men are
back
not
to
allowed
what
in women's only space. Good.
his,
Donald Trump
no,
described a
he went
dressing
in,
room,
he
a
went in.
women's only dressing room.
Listen, he was allowed to go in there.
Okay,
Obviously,
how was he allowed? Why was he allowed?
Well, he didn't get in trouble for it, did he?
Okay, so are you saying the 98% of rapists that don't get held accountable were allowed to rape that woman or man?
I'm just telling
Okay.
you.
Hold on.
that this happens-
Hold on.
this happens
Answer the
all
question.
time.
Answer the question. Are those 98% of men who rape other people, were they allowed to rape said people?
Rape? Now you're getting into something totally different.
Are yes or
He's
no?
in-
Were they
he's-
allowed to do
he's
that?
in the
Were they? Hold on.
space-
I just need a yes or no. Were they allowed to rape those people? Yes or no?
No, you're asking me stupid
Is
questions.
it a
now.
yes or no?
Listen, it's a stupid question. It's a
You want to
trick
know how it's
question.
not a stupid question? You
Listen.
said the reason why it was okay.
He did not go in there.
You
he didn't
said
go in
hold
there
on,
and
hold on,
rape
hold on.
them, fondle them, touch them, nothing.
Hold on.
He didn't
You said
snip-
the reason why it's okay for Donald Trump to do this is because he was not held accountable. You said that was the reason. Okay, so in accordance with your perspective, if someone's not held accountable, it is okay for them to do said action. Meaning, according to RAIN.org, 98% of rapists aren't held accountable, meaning it was okay for them to rape said people.
No,
Do you see how dumb that? Just because someone isn't held accountable doesn't make it okay. It makes it worse.
No, you're just going on to.
He wasn't allowed to be back there. He wasn't allowed to go into a woman's only space at all.
He didn't rape them. He didn't touch them.
I never said he
didn't
raped.
take
He
pic-
sexually
he didn't
exploited
take
them.
pic- He didn't take photos of them. He didn't do
He
anything.
sexually exploited them.
Well, I don't know. You can look at it that way if you want.
It's
but
his own words. Why don't you look at it that way? Why do you disagree with me?
Well, because I think any straight man that has an opportunity stand around, look at beautiful women is not a horrible thing.
Okay,
You know,
but if
I
they
mean,
go
if
into
now
a
if one
woman's
of those
hold on,
women,
hold on.
if one of those women would have screamed and started to call him out on it, then that would have been different. Then they would have had a right to do that. But none
They
of them
did call
did
him out
it.
on it.
None of them did it.
They did.
You know, so
Women came forward about it. They did.
well, how come we're just finding about it now that he's the president, right?
We found this out in 2016. What this video was released in 2016.
2016 when he ran for
Yes.
president.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what happens when anytime somebody tries to get into power.
Yeah, because when the most,
all of a
whenever,
sudden-
whenever
no,
the most,
no,
whenever the
listen,
most, well, hold on,
whenever somebody goes
whenever
into
your sexual
power,
exploiter,
all this shit
whenever your
comes
sexual
out.
exploiter, hold on, whenever your sexual exploiter or your rapist becomes the most powerful man in the world, let's
listen,
take a look at the victims. Let's take a
when
look at what the
somebody
victims have to
runs,
say.
when somebody runs in a position for power, the other side is going to look for any dirt they can find on him.
Okay, I can say the same thing about Eric Swalwell, right? Eric Swalwell is not a rapist, then. Under your
I don't
worldview.
listen. I don't know. I
As
don't
soon
know.
as
I
he
don't
started
know.
running for the
I don't-
gubernatorial race,
I don't
as soon
know.
as he started running for the gubernatorial race,
I don't know
victims
much.
came
I don't
out.
know. Well, I
Oh,
don't know
now
much
you
about
don't
him. I
know.
just
Now you
like
don't
him.
know. When it comes to Eric Swalwell, you don't know. He could be a rapist. You could believe the victims. When it comes to Donald Trump, you don't. Okay, Eric Swalwell is most likely a rapist. He should be held accountable. I believe those victims, even though they waited a long time, even though they waited until he ran for the gubernatorial race. I
You're
believe
still-
those
you're
victims.
still-
the same
you're
way
still-
you should believe the victims
you're
of Donald
still
Trump. Take a
innocent
listen to what the victims have to
You're
say.
still innocent until proven guilty. Is that true?
Or any sort of clothing.
You're still
And whenever
innocent
he's
until
proven guilty, you don't believe the court cases. Whenever Donald Trump is proven guilty, you deny, i.e. the 34 count felonies,
I
i.e.
haven't
the
seen
civil
those
lawsuit.
articles.
You deny it. You
I
deny
never
it. You
saw
deny
those
it. You deny it.
I
That is
never saw
hypocrisy
those
at its
articles
finest.
until
Now let's
now.
take a look at what the victims have to say.
I'm not gonna.
Arizona
I
2001,
can't keep
Tasha
arguing
Dixon
with you.
competed in the Miss USA pageant. Donald Trump owned the contest along with Miss Universe and Miss Teen USA for 19 years. Our first introduction to him was when we were at the dress rehearsal and half naked changing into our bikinis. To have the owner come waltzing in when we're naked or half naked in a very physically vulnerable position, and then to have the pressure of the the people that work for him telling us to go fawn all over him, go walk up to him, talk to him. And Dixon has strong opinions about what she thinks were Trump's motivations. I'm telling you, Donald Trump owned the pageant for the reason to utilize his power to get, around beautiful women. Dixon, who lives in West Hollywood, was 18 at the time. Who do you complain to? He owns the pageant. So There's no one to complain to. Everyone there works for him. The year she competed, the thing decided to speak. But I just like to reach out to some. We did, however.
So that's one of the victims saying that Donald Trump walked in while they were naked, and they would the workers would tell him to fawn all over him.
Yeah, what? A victim that's a freaking liberal? Come on now.
No, she's not a liberal. No.
She's a liberal, man. She
So
hates Trump.
I can say the same thing about anyone. Political affiliations don't
Get
matter.
what she wanted from him, and she's gonna fucking pull that bullshit. Listen, when it comes to men or anybody with money, people will pull this shit, okay? Just like with Michael Jackson, for example. All right? Was Michael Jackson a pedophile?
I've not seen the new allegations that have surfaced about Michael Jackson, so I cannot comment on that.
But yet there was a dentist.
Hold on, if there are credible allegations on Michael Jackson, I would 100% say that yes, he's a P3DO.
The parents of those kids wanted to get money out of Michael Jackson. None of us know the truth about that. And you know what?
But we know the truth about Trump. But we know the truth about Trump because Trump admitted to it. We know the truth about Trump because we heard it from his own mouth. We know the truth about Trump because of his past character. He said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years.
Listen, you Trump haters need to stop the hate.
Would you support Trump? Would you support Trump if he said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years?
I think you need to stop the hate.
One last question before we move on. One last question. Why don't you root for your president
to succeed and do good things for this country? But you can't do that.
Would you support Trump? Would you support Trump if he told a 10-year-old girl he'd be dating her in 10 years?
Listen, you'll never support Trump.
Yes or no? Hold on, I just need a yes or no. Would you support Trump if he told a 10-year-old girl he'd date her in 10 years? Yes or no?
Listen, you want him to fail?
Can you answer yes or no, please? Can you answer yes or no?
You want the president
Can you answer yes or no? Can you answer yes or no? I don't want him to fail, but he doesn't have the capacity to succeed. Can you answer yes or no?
Biden to succeed.
Can you answer yes or no?
Had nothing but a sleepy Joe.
Dude. Can you answer yes or no?
No, I'm not going to answer your stupid questions no more. You need to get yourself together, get your shit together, and start rooting for a president to do good in our country. All right?
Thursday night. You're going up the escalator?
You guys just hate him so much instead of rooting for him.
I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you go to the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you go? You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you go? Night. You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you go? Night. You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you go?
That is Donald Trump telling a 10-year-old girl, a little girl, that he's going to be dating her in 10 years. That is Donald Trump sexualizing a child. And you support that man. You support someone who said he'd date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years, sexualizing a 10-year-old. You support someone who sexually exploited 14-year-olds and adults in Miss Teen USA and Miss USA and admitted to this. You support someone who was found responsible of forcibly penetrated Eugene Carroll's vagina with his fingers without her consent. You support someone who is actively harming America, i.e. his policies such as the Big Beautiful Bill. You support someone who is violating the fundamental law, i.e. the Constitution. You support someone who violated federal law to protect P3DOs. Okay, you're not pro-law and order. You're not pro-women. You're anti-women. What do you have to say about that clip? What do you have to say about that clip? Address the clip.
You support the liberal garbage. So what good are you?
Address the clip.
What are you? What good are you?
Address the clip. That's Donald Trump saying he'd date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. What do you have to say about that?
Oh, you haven't said shit like that?
I have never said I would date. Have you ever said? Hold on.
So a 10-year-old girl, she's gonna be gorgeous by the time she's 25, 30. You never looked at a young girl 10 years old, so she's gonna be smoking hot one day. You never said anything like that?
Listen, Mr. Wright, I don't think you're a bad guy.
Like that?
Listen.
Did you ever say anything like that?
Can you give me 30 seconds? Can you give me 30 seconds?
You can't.
No, 30 seconds.
You can't.
I'm not even a liberal. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a leftist.
No, you're just a Trump hater.
I'm an independent. But listen, I don't think you're a bad guy. Listen, chat.
You're a Trump hater, and you know it, and that's your problem.
I don't think you're a bad guy. Okay, Mr. Wright, we have a lot of things in common. I'm sure we do. I'm sure if we go out and have some dinner, have a nice steak, go put some burgers on the grill, I'm sure we would have a lot of things in common. Okay,
No,
listen.
we don't have
I don't.
much in common.
No, we do.
Nothing
We
in
do.
common.
Hold on. I'm pro smaller government. I'm pro banning abortion. I'm anti-LGBT. Okay, I'm
No.
all of that. Okay, we have a lot of
No,
things. I don't think
for
you're a bad guy.
everything you're for everything that is wrong in this country.
Listen.
Because you
I,
know
yeah,
what?
I get that.
I'm
Listen.
a lot older than you.
Sure.
And your
Listen,
generation
I don't
wants
think
to
you're a bad
destroy
guy.
this country.
Listen, Mr. Right.
That's your problem.
I don't think Mr. Right. I don't think you're a bad guy. Have you I guess my question is just gonna be like, have you ever just like looked at like a little child and said like, wow, they're gonna like grow up and be gorgeous?
Yeah, I've looked at little girls and said that girl's gonna be a beautiful girl one day. What's wrong with that?
Have you ever like thought about like dating a child whenever they're like growing older? Like whenever
you
they're
know
like
what?
20?
You're taking it wrong.
No, I'm
okay?
not. I'm not.
You're making it sound like he wanted to have sex with her at that age.
Well, I mean,
that's
no,
bullshit.
Donald Trump. Well, no, I'm not even talking about Trump. Listen.
You're the you will take anything he says
Sure.
and throw it out of context.
No, I'm not talking. I don't care about Trump.
That.
I don't care about Trump. Have you ever like thought about dating a 10-year-old girl in 10 years?
No, I didn't
Like
think
Donald
about
Trump?
that. But what he said was just a kind of a joke.
Well, he said he would date a 10-year-old girl.
Anytime he says a joke,
well, hold on.
liberals
If
take it so
Donald Trump
tough.
Donald Trump said he's dated a 10-year-old girl in 10 years, have you said that?
No, but you're taking it wrong. He didn't mean it the way you're saying it or the way you're thinking.
What does it mean to date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years?
Do.
What does it mean to date a 10-year-old? What does it mean to be a 10-year-old girl in 10 years? What does it mean to date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years? What does that mean?
Listen, you Trump haters don't freaking think of it any way but the way you want to make it look like that he's a piece of shit. And you know what? I think it sucks that we have to deal with you people because Trump, first of all, is not stupid, raised a good family. He's got beautiful kids. They're all
cheated
smart.
on all three of his wives.
Good.
I have a question. What is the age of consent?
Cheated on all three of his wives.
What is
no
the age
man's
of
ever
consent?
cheated on their wives, right?
What is the age of
he's
consent?
the only man that cheated on his wife, right?
What is the age of consent?
18.
Do you want the age of consent to be lowered via legislation?
No.
Are you sure?
Don't ask stupid questions, all right?
Well, I mean, you just said you
No,
like
don't
looked
ask
at a
stupid
you
questions.
just said you would
Listen.
look like at a child and like say that they would be beautiful when they grow up.
Yeah, so what's wrong with that? If a 10-year-old girl, I could say when she's 30, she's going to be beautiful just by her eyes, by her hair. What that makes me a sick person? Because I tell you what, if that's the way you're thinking,
No, listen,
you're
I
the
don't think
sick
I don't think
person.
you're a sick person. I don't think you're a bad guy.
Well, you're asking dumb questions. Be
I
a
don't think
fucking
you're a bad
intelligent
guy.
person on here. I got on here to talk to you, but don't be an ignorant person towards me.
Have you ever sexualized a child? Like not done anything, but just thought about sexualizing a child?
All right, if you're gonna ask me sick questions, then I don't need to be on here with you anymore. Okay? You proved your point, all right? That you're not right.